Well, reading, writing, and arithmetic are the basics of education, and as challenging as it may be, they can be taught online. Other subjects, though, are much more difficult to teach remotely, perhaps none more than physical education. But the pandemic has forced PE teachers to be innovative in how they get kids moving and reaching state benchmarks. For the Braun family from Birmingham, being active is important. From swimming to skiing, this is a family on the move.
It's even more important at that younger age to stay physically active.
Third grader Jocelyn is trying to adapt to virtual learning. And while she can stay active at home,
we got scooters, we got bikes, we have a swing set.
Jennifer Braun, Jocelyn's mom, says physical education is falling short in the transition to virtual learning.
That's probably one of the harder classes to do in the virtual environment. You miss that whole team aspect, working with the other kids, working with your teacher.
Those are challenges schools across Metro Detroit are trying to solve. And while they may be difficult, those challenges are not impossible.
You have to think out of the box when you're doing this virtually.
Jennifer McClory teaches PE at MacArthur K-8 in Southfield. She says teaching during the pandemic has forced her and other PE instructors to get creative, adapting gym class activities to home while still being held to state standards.
I did a scavenger hunt with the kids in their house. Go skip to this kitchen and skip back.
Well, that meets standard 1 for locomotion.
Go find something blue and touch it and do 10 jumping jacks.
Getting the heart rate pumping, that's standard 3. The goal is to show students the value of movement and to have fun. That's standard 5. And you don't need expensive equipment.
So, they can make a sock ball. They can practice throwing it up and catching it. Even the little kids, they can start small and catch it.
Older kids can add a twist like clapping to make it a little more challenging. Is it working? McClory heard from a coworker with a daughter in the 1st grade.
She texted me, "Oh my God, Adora said that was the best class ever." And I was like, okay, thumbs up, yay.
But Jennifer Nicole Braun says Jocelyn's PE teacher is doing something similar, but their experience has been quite different.
They were constantly moving the equipment and trying to do jumping jacks and putting their laptop or their device down. So it was definitely challenging.
Well, virtual PE, just like the rest of virtual learning, isn't a 100% replacement for what they're doing in school and in the classroom. Doing it well clearly involves some innovation, and it's the same thing for art and for music classes. It's difficult, but it can be done, but it does require flexibility and patience for everyone involved. I know, Amira, my son and I go out on our trampoline for his PE classes, but when the weather's wet, we had to adapt to try to keep him moving when he can't be outside, sort of doing something that he wants to do. So it's always about adapting and trying to make the best of this situation that everyone agrees isn't perfect.
Absolutely, and you make such a great point about scheduling that time in, that it has to be scheduled in the day because a kid can only sit behind a computer for so long, It's really draining on them. And I really love that idea of the scavenger hunt.
Yeah.
I like that.
It was a lot of fun, I'm sure.